my clothes, which is just like leggings and t-shirts and sweaters and stuff. And this is for all of Weston's stuff. And these are Xavier's. But Xavier, is still living with his father and just, staying with me every day, mostly. So it's been kind of consistent over the last 6 months, incremental improvements. There have been a lot of other issues going on intermittently that I do my best not to really keep track of anymore. All of the things that you guys have heard me discuss on lives before, they still continue to go on. My money has been manipulated or held from me in my bank accounts, which are protected by the FDIC. And this is recently in the last few days. There have been things that'll happen, like a very, very strong odor of gas coming into my place, and that's what they did at the last place as well. So I don't call the police anymore. I've filed more than 10 police reports for the time that my previous apartment was broken into and belongings stolen and the sexual assault. There's been zero follow-up, meaning I call them about 100 times in the first year after making the report. They tell me there's no one investigating or no action is being taken, and leave it at that. How do you not take action following sexual assault? How do you not take action following physical assault, stabbing, or being beaten with a tire iron? All times law enforcement responded. I was unconscious when these people attacked me. Why is no one being held accountable? Why have I not received any reimbursement for pain and suffering or physical assault or whatever it is? There's a law called Marcy's Law that says any victim of a violent assault will be reimbursed by the court system. That has not been the case for me at all, or for Xavier. And Xavier has firsthand witnessed while I was physically assaulted at 14 weeks pregnant while just laying on a yoga mat doing nothing wrong by an officer. So if I, sit here and I'm thinking about making my channel a place that's dedicated towards me just going live and sharing those crazy stories that are really abusive because they're the honest to God truth. We have proof of it. Like that happened on body cam footage. An officer broke my belongings. We had a luggage rack with all my luggage. He broke a wheel off, dumped all of my luggage into the parking lot, dumped it off the rack, opened all of the bags, dumped everything into a big pile while locking me in a room for 3 hours with no charges and no reason. I was 14 weeks pregnant. He grabbed me by my wrist, dragged me about 10 feet, struck me a few times, knocked me to the ground. First made me stand up really quick. When I was laying on the yoga mat, I told him I was pregnant. They had already come to the park. We were at a park. I was doing a photo shoot. Xavier had just gone on his bike to get a pizza. And he came back to witness the entire thing just in time. But the officer was very mean. He was like, get up, and I got up, and then he knocked me back to the ground and began assaulting me. There has been no assistance for any of this. There has been no explanation. There has not even been a phone call to say, we're really sorry that, a member of the community that you thought you could trust while on foot to drop off groceries to your children from the downtown area. We're so sorry that someone beat the fuck out of you while you were pregnant. This is what happened. They were confused. They thought you were someone else. They got a bad tip. Anything, right? They don't even acknowledge. They just treat you like, in a very patronizing, condescending way where it's like, they know that you're capable of articulating what took place, and they know that you're capable of being a witness for yourself and an advocate for yourself, but they just continue to treat you like you're a deaf mute or something. And that's really what it's been. And I think that the reason they can get away with that is because I so candidly share here, and have for the last 10 years, all of the corruption. When I was being bullied by the other detective, when he forced me to steal that girl's laptop for his case, like all of that I documented. But no one has done shit. That was 10 years ago now. I called 911 about that. I filed police reports about that. I went to the court and petitioned them about that. We are 10 years later and no one has said anything. So it's just clear corruption. I need advocacy, and I need it now. And I needed it a year ago, and I needed it a year before that. My children are growing. Viviana is 18. Lewis is 16. Alexis is 11, and Weston is now 1. I have been making these videos asking for assistance with just keeping myself, out of harm's way from other people assaulting me, which again, I want to remind everyone, I grew up in the west suburbs. I never got into a fight as a teenager. I don't have a violent background. I don't have a criminal record. The worst thing on my record is a driving ticket or an underage drinking ticket when I was 18. And I wasn't a regular drinker. I think I had my first alcohol around that age. So there's a lot going on still, and there are a lot of unanswered questions and unanswered occurrences. It seems like there's always someone in the media suing law enforcement for beating them up. Who better to get a fat ass lawsuit from a member of the police beating her up than a pregnant woman? Okay, so I don't know. And there has not been a big, group of people jumping at the chance to help me with this. So I don't have a problem with the police. I have a problem with the police officer who beat me up. I don't have a problem with people who work for the government. I have a problem with the people who are lying on record saying I haven't satisfactorily completed every service when I have. Those are the things I have a problem with. So other than that, what's going great? I have an apartment. It's in my name. I cannot put Xavier on the lease until we, are able to get past these little issues with, I can't even blame it on him or me. It's like logistical and practical issues with going from a tent to being normal again that have made life very, very difficult and confusing. So we're trying our best to repair that. And his father is, allowing him to keep his bedroom there. He sleeps with me every single night, and we're like literally attached at the hip. We go to all our visits together. We do all our services together. And, I'm just looking forward to a much better life for both of us and for the children, because living a life under this type of government monitoring and control is not living a life. It's living oppression. It's making the moves that you're allowed to make. It's taking the steps that they decide are okay for you to take. It's very difficult to be successful in business this way. My reputation is constantly under fire by these people, and for no reason. They have no involvement in my actual life, and they don't really have any argument. They're using the same tired fucking arguments that I don't have medical records, which I do, that I'm crazy, which I'm not, and that I don't have housing, which I do now. And even if I didn't, Norman Services protects parents from being separated from their kids in the event of a housing emergency by forcing them to the top of the list for shelter. Mothers, children, and fathers together as a family are given priority into the shelter system. So every step these people could take to keep us out of the shelter system, they took intentionally. We were locked in tents, not because I was negligent, but because they would not allow us to go inside. Now I have the apartment. Like I said, Xavier's keeping his room by his father's. I'm praying and praying. We have our visits 3 times a week, as we have since Weston was born. It's been a whole year. I have been 100%, as has Xavier, compliant with everything. I finished all services. Tomorrow we have our last day of parenting classes. But this is not typical. And even the drivers have begun to communicate their concern, because they are concerned that we have not even been able to take Weston for an unsupervised visit. The first judge, when Weston was only 3 days old, said supervised visits would begin immediately. That was a year ago. So has been not a lot of advocacy. My son, needs his mother. My other 3 children need their mother. I need a 5 or 6 bedroom house that I can purchase, for my family, so that myself, my son-in-law, Ali, who rest in peace to his father, and, he has his own, need for a stable parent. My daughter is with him and she needs me. My son is single and a child still, and he needs me. And then Alexis is only 11 years old and she most certainly needs me. What little girl or little boy doesn't need their mother? So I have a lot of things riding on my success, and a lot of people's stability and comfort. If I get a home, that would be a game changer for all of my children. They would never have to deal with housing instability again. They would never have to think, should I sleep over at my uncle's house or should I go to my dad's? They would never have to think which, of all the homes would be the best for them to not get on people's nerves or be in people's ways. They would have their own space that's theirs, so that they can live and act in a way that's uninhibited and happy and, creative and productive, and build beautiful lives for themselves. Everyone deserves that. It's my job as a parent to give that to my children, and that has always been my goal. It remains my goal. I have, really nothing else. Tunnel vision on the goal. Physical, health. I've been doing 50 crunches or more minimum every single day since the 1st of January, with no exceptions. I've been doing compound movements with the kettlebell. I've been doing some resistance band training, some weighted squats, And on top of that, my foot count for walking has pretty much stayed the same as if I were walking like 3 to 5 miles a day because of the actual walking that I do to commute and then walking around the restaurant as a server or bartender. So my health is good. My health is great. Everything is, going great with the process as far as, the things I have to complete and Xavier has to complete. We've done them all. And we've been very, very bullied along the way. So shout out to everyone who has advocated for us in any way, the people who bring us little snacks, the people who, say a prayer for us, the people who shout us out, the people who know that we've been done wrong and continue to fight for us and fight in our corner. I appreciate you guys so much. Xavier does too. I gotta go because I gotta finish packing up the baby's bag and my bag, and then we have to go. We have to get out of here. It's 7 o'clock right now, and usually we leave by like 7:15 or 7:20. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Today is March the 4th?
Yeah.
March 4th?
Yes.
Today is March the 4th, 10 days till my baby boy's birthday, 17. Happy birthday, Pa. I love you guys, and like I said, the biggest message from all of this is that's the update. There's so much more that I want to share with you guys, that desperately want to share with you guys, but I just cannot, for my own well-being as well as the well-being of my family and my children. That's about it. So I hope you all have a great day, and thank you guys for continuing to check on me and make sure that we're good. I will be doing some more content after this. Xavier and I started working on a freelance project for, you guys know about the 2 pop-ups, Sleeping Pretty and Fashion for Action. And then we also have another one, which is a freelance writing workshop pop-up. So we're not really offering workshop, we're offering resources to build copyright and content for websites and individuals. If that's something that you need, please feel free to reach out to me on email, and we can price a project for you. We're using a combination of my own skills, Xavier's skills, maybe a few other ghostwriters, and an AI. So we're producing some quality work. If you need website content, website development, new business development, maybe menu preparation, anything like that, please feel free to let me know. And you can do so by submitting a work order through email, oneheathergee@gmail.com. You guys, my clothes, which is just like